Division, you have, everybody's got Chris's report, and you do have a resolution for a paver.
I have a cleanup resolution, yes. A few months ago, the board authorized us to purchase a paver. We didn't dot our i's and cross our t's with budget expenditure and revenue. That resolution a couple months ago was to allow us to buy that paver out of unexpended, unappropriated, and so I'm asking for a resolution to just do a budget modification to move those funds around.
Moved by Mr. Manel, second by Mr. Moore. Further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Thank you. And you also have another one there?
Yep, my next resolution under highway, again, a month or two ago, I discussed that for the FEMA-funded Lobdell Bridge project that's coming up, New York State DOT is going to require us to have directional, informational signs up 6 months ahead of time. So you authorized me to go out to bid for those, and our bids came back, and Taylor Rental was the low bid of $31,000. So I'd like authorization to purchase those.
Moved by Mr. Gardner, second by Mr. Marnell. Discussion on that one? Not all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Anything else for highway that wasn't on the report? Anybody have any questions? Yes, Mr. Tyler.
I'm not part of this committee, but do you have two paving groups going out now? Or is there two?
We have two pavers.
Crews?
Okay, we are generally using one paver, and then the other crews are doing prep work before or prep work after.
Okay.
There will be a time...
So it's like a backup, or?
It is a backup paver right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else? Mr. Monte.
Jim, I want to thank you guys for the hazardous waste day that you helped us host this weekend. My understanding was it was very successful. I think I was told 147 people, plus arrangements were made to go to Essex to pick up some stuff. So, thank you. We really appreciate that.
It was busy. That's what I got from our foreman.
How does that compare to some of the other locations?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. I don't think it's nearly as well attended as the Lake Placid one, but that was quite busy, and we got an extra.
Did you get those figures out?
I can. Yep.
Thank you. But thank you. I heard a lot of good things over the weekend about it. Thank the board.
Anybody else? Yep.
I saw the new paver in operation last week, and it's a nice machine. The operator's comfort is 100% better than it used to be. And the guys, compliments the guys too that worked on the crew. They're all working together, doing a good job on both the county and town roads.
Thank you. I'll pass that along.
Any other discussion? Okay. Buildings and grounds. Do you have any updates besides what was on your report?
No.
The janitors too, anything there?
Yep.
Anybody have any questions for Jim? Tom?
Not a question, but just a comment. I've been around a long time, as you have, Jerry, and I got to tell you, this building and the grounds and everything they've never looked better. Really. I mean, this place is spotless, and the grounds and so on. So hats off to the people.
Pass it along to our staff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, like you say, Tom, I've been around not quite as long as you. I've been 23 years, and I've never seen the buildings and grounds, and also the DPW department taking over so many projects and stuff and getting them done. That is excellent. Yeah.
Jim, I understand we had a 2-week extension on the nutrition building, the bids?
That's correct. We received a lot of questions from the two bidders who showed up to visit the site as part of the pre-bid meeting. A lot of questions. And so I tried to work with ACAP to answer a few on how their program works, and we got a pretty lengthy addendum out answering those questions, and those bidders asked for a little more time to prepare their pricing.
And I understand there might be a third party or fourth party coming in?
I have not talked to a third party for that yet, but there are almost a dozen plan holders right now.
Good. Thank you.
And I just thought of something when Tom brought it up, building the grounds in this building. After I was approached by some supervisors the other day about the soffit, the windows and stuff. You're putting that on your schedule, right, to do that?
We had budgeted money in 2016 for paint, for doing that work. Our plan is to do it with our own forces. We're a little bit behind with courtroom cleanup and things like that. And as you guys know, for a while, we were down 2 employees. We're back to just down 1. But before fall, we intend to do a painting project up there.
I guess which leads me into another question, I hate to belabor this, but when we were talking the other day, yourself, myself, and Chris, that courtroom cleanup, what did we save by doing that ourselves, according to the insurance agency?
Well, I guess I can pass the email I got from the insurance company and their consultant along to you, Jerry, and to the board. In their opinion, they originally budgeted $250,000 for repairs from their initial walkthrough. When they came back, about a month later, and saw how much we had already done and what we were doing mostly with our own forces, and we're projecting only to spend $150,000, the consultant was pretty impressed. He was pretty impressed with what we did. Again, that goes out to our buildings and grounds and cleaners.
That's why I brought it up, I thought of it. Anybody else have anything else? Okay. Health and safety and codes, you have a resolution there?
Yeah, like a resolution to accept a HAB grant. This is that training grant for safety that we've used for county and town employees in the past. So I'd like to accept it. This year it's less than it's been in the past, but it's the full amount that the state is offering.
Somebody want to move that? Moved by Mr. Depot. Second. Do we have a second on that? Mr. Moore? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Anything else on health and safety? Okay. Anybody have any questions? Public safety building. Anything on that? We hit the generator earlier, so nothing on that. Okay. Engineering?
Projects are starting to wind down is all. The Ensign Pond Road Bridge, federal aid funded project, just closed up. We did a final walkthrough. The Furnace Road Bridge is expected to be done in September. And we are following that plan that we outlined earlier in the year, that we were going to try to design and permit a number of bridges for bidding late this fall, early this winter for next spring construction, trying to bring the cost of those down when contractors are looking for work the most.
Any questions on that? Before you leave, I need to talk to you about that too. Before you leave today. Fish hatchery, any update? I know you had a meeting today. Any update on fish hatchery?
We had a discussion on the tabled resolution to spend $48,000 for asbestos abatement. You may continue with that discussion.
The task force wanted me to look into other options in removing the asbestos from that building, so I'm currently looking into the costs associated with getting county employees trained to do that, what that whole process would be, what it would cost us for initial training, and an idea of what it would cost us annually.
Also, Links to Lots has offered their resources and researching grants for signage down the road, so that's something that will be in the works.
Yeah, in reference to asbestos abatement, we could train employees to properly dispose of it. There are also, like the laborers union, several laborers are trained, and operating engineers are trained in removal of asbestos. You could sign a contract with the laborers union, and they would get their scale, and they would be working like they would be working for Malloy or any other contractor. They'd come in, they're trained to remove it, and it would just be their wages. Or else, if we did have people, but it's a short training period.
I can look into that as well.
Anybody else?
committee meeting, we also discussed the hiring of a temporary full-time employee. The employee that's been out sick for quite some time, that's continuing, and we felt, I think, that we really needed to make a move to increase the staff over there. So I would like to put that move that resolution that we do post for a temporary full-time employee.
Moved by Mr. Moore, second by Mr. Marnell. Dan, do you have any discussion on that?
No, it's fine. We can do it either way. I mean, I can do it or they can do it. Again, if you want to get some of these projects done, the painting and those kinds of things, then you probably need that as additional person.
Any other discussion? Yep, Mr. Monte?
Dan, just so everyone's clear, myself included, I know we had the same scenario with a long-term employee. The employee that's out now, do they, we know it's going to be even longer, I'm assuming, and stuff, so we won't run into a question with the sheriff's department on this.
No, I know exactly what's wrong with this employee. I know exactly why he's out, and I know exactly how long he will be out.
Thank you. I assumed you did, but I just...
Anybody else? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Miscellaneous. Fairgrounds? Anything extra on fairgrounds?
Oh, we've been working diligently to have it ready for later this week.
Okay, Sean?
Not a committee, but I just want to say kudos to Jim and his people. The work that's been done at the fairgrounds, getting ready for this fair, has been phenomenal. Cooperation has been fantastic. I've gotten all kinds of compliments and stuff. This is the best the fairgrounds have looked in years and years, and it's all and I would put it all on the shoulders of Jim and his proactive stance on being a good landlord of the fairgrounds.
I'd like to echo that, and also offer a challenge to Mr. Supervisor Tyler. I'd like to take on all comers at the milking contest. We don't need a resolution on that one, you just challenge him, throw the gauntlet out there. You've been challenged, Mike.
Play a game of basketball afterwards.
Remember, you got the Duncan move out. Anything else on the fairgrounds? Okay, do you have anything else on the miscellaneous?
I have one other resolution that purchasing made me aware of. It was discussed today, the architectural term contract. We did go out to RFP for architects. This is architectural services only. We received a number of bids. After interviews were held, the firm that we'd like to recommend is Architectural Engineering Design Associates. They're out of Plattsburgh. We received 7 different applications, 3 from locals, 1 from Watertown, and 3 from Albany. I'd like to move a resolution to award them the architectural term contract for the next year with the opportunity to renew that contract for 2 more years.
I'm going to move that. Moved by Tom. Do we have a second on it?
What's the amount?
It's a term contract, so each project, they provide an LOA for.
Is there an hourly rate?
The hourly rate is less than what you've been paying per hour for the last gentleman, and significantly less than the Albany firms.
We can get you a copy of that.
I was just curious.
Yeah, we always bid it by the hour, so they give us a rate.
I realize that.
Yeah, they give us a rate for the architect, for associate architect, or
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Scottafather. Do we have a second on it? By Mr. Marnell. Okay. Further discussion? If not, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Anything else? Anybody else have anything? Yes.
Jim, I was recently doing some research online, and I come across a I was looking into some CHIPS stuff, and then I come across a program, a CLIPS program that's being proposed. I made the mistake of thinking it was Assemblyman Steck, but it was the other Assemblyman Steck that proposed it. And do you know anything, or can enlighten me a little more? And I know it pertains to water and sewer, am I correct?
Yeah, there's a bill in the Assembly.
Yeah, and actually Assemblyman Steck said it's now in front of the Environmental Conservation Committee right now.
It's very similar to the CHIPS program. The CHIPS program is all about highway and pavement. The CLIPS program, and I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the acronym really means, is about water, sewer, and stormwater pipe.
Consolidated Local Infrastructure Program.
I believe it's about water, sewer, and stormwater pipe, and I believe the intent of the bill was to provide, similar to CHIPS funding, annual funding to municipalities based upon their quantity of water, sewer, and storm pipe that's in the ground. So, and it's been a while since I saw the bill, but it was to set aside the same amount of money as they set aside for CHIPS money for highways every year. So, I don't know if it has any legs in the Assembly or not, but it seems like it would help our communities a lot if you were able to get it.
Do you think it's something that we should propose a resolution of support, or is it too early for that?
There weren't a lot of specifics in what I saw on the bill from back in the spring. I don't know if there's specifics yet or not, but a program like that, to tackle some of the water and sewer and stormwater problems that we have up here, I think it should get our support.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt us, Dan, go ahead.
Well, it's essentially not gonna have any legs unless it gets a companion bill from the Senate.
Right.
And I don't know if that's out yet or not,
seen it.
but if at the point it did receive a companion bill from the Senate, then you might wanna move some support at that point.
So you think it's too early?
Might be, but again, if you don't time these things quite right, they'll sit in somebody's desk and never hit the right spot. It's up to you guys.
Assemblyman Steck led me to believe that he thought it was going to pass through environmental conservation, but he said a lot of times things change.
What does the board think, the committee, what do they think? Open for suggestions.
I think, following Dan's advice there, wait until see if we get a companion bill from the Senate, and then if we do, probably at that point in time, we should probably support it, I would think.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else? Anybody else? Yep.
When we do dispose of a piece of equipment, I know we do it online auction, right? Surplus stuff. Do we also advertise it?
Typically, only if I think there's some interest locally from the towns or from somebody else. We've had quite a lot of success with the online auction, and they seem to do quite well with it once we put it with them. But again, if I think a town is interested, I won't even put it on the website. I'll advertise it directly to towns.
Well, I've had a couple of people ask about it that
Yeah.
don't go online and,
Buy it from international auctions. Yeah.
I mean, they're great. I used it last year, and
Yeah.
we got good results, but there's a few local people that don't use a computer, and they still buy and sell it or whatever. So
Okay.
if we could put it on the local paper, be aware of it.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, Jim, thank you very much. Dave, come on right up. Everybody's got soil and water report. Anybody have any questions for Dave? You got anything?
Well, just a couple things. We will be there at the fair, and we will be showing off we picked up the new UTV for the forestry last Friday. Looks very nice. We got it right out on the fairgrounds, setting up our programs. We will have the new UTV and the two-seaters we have, the new no-till drill that we have that can be used with that on our forestry or any other kind of roadsides. We'll be working on a lot of forestry-related stuff since that's the theme of the fair this year. We'll be working on setting up that. Actually, forestry-related, the Soil and Water District is sponsoring on Sunday. If you're interested, come down to the fair between 9 and noon. We'll actually have a horse logger there showing how you can do some low-impact environmental forestry on your property down at the fairgrounds down near the horse barns for the racehorses. Other than that, we'll be there for everything from timber sports to we have some displays on our soil health and come out down to the conservation area. I'll also be there 6 to 8 on Wednesday and Thursday nights. For those of you that know, my other side is that I actually go out, we run border collies, and we'll be doing dog agility there. If you guys stop in after your milking contest and visit with us. Other than that, I think we're pretty busy with the fair. We're wrapping up with our interns. Our 2 interns did a great program with one with the watershed education, taking it out to your town recreation programs. And then the other intern went out, and for the first time she's done already almost 100 culverts in the upper Hudson area, and the only town she has left to do is Minerva. Today she's wrapping up Newcomb. We've done all of North Hudson, and we just have a few to wrap up into Scroon, and that will be going into the database so that can be used for you guys to be able to go after some of this money, like the bridge money that's coming up September 9th. It puts it on a actual 13-state database and gives you a priority number for each one of those culverts, so we can actually show that to get money both from that state project and from that DEC WQIP grants that were just put in here just recently. And that's it.
Any questions for Dave? Mr. Harris?
Yes, on August 15th, as a result of an application by Soil and Water to the Champlain Basin, Monitor Bay will be inventoried for invasives. I appreciate Soil and Water's assistance in regards to that.
Very good. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have anything else to come before the committee? And we got a set of keys up here that was left. Tom?
Just before everybody, Tom, Bill, are we still doing our meeting? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Convene right here. All those who want